Welcome back to Burn and Barrel, and today we're going to be reviewing a bottle that I've seen before, seen a couple times, and been wanting to try, but I finally have been able to get my hands on it, and that is an Old Dominick bottle. And so if you don't know Old Dominick, they are out of Memphis, Tennessee, and this stuff is so good. I have their Old Dominick Cask Strength Bourbon. That is very good, and I've tried their bottle bond. It's also really good too. I mean, it's $60 for the cask strength, and it's just phenomenal. It is a fantastic bottle of mine, one of my favorites in my collection. But this one is, I believe it's newer, like definitely within the past year or so. I think they've come out with this. And if I'm wrong, then be sure to leave that below. But I'm pretty sure this is a newer thing. But this is their straight wheat whiskey, single barrel select. So here is the front label. So as you can see, this is a straight wheat whiskey. And if you want to pause to kind of read the front, I'll let you do that for a second. There you go. But what we got in here is 83% wheat, 12% corn, and 5% malted barley. This is also a 119.61 proof, aged 7 years. And it is obviously distilled, aged, and bottled all by Old Dominick in Memphis, Tennessee. As you can see here on the side, this is a single barrel, so this was selected for Rome Liquors over in Rome, Georgia. My dad was over there recently, and he was able to pick up this bottle for me after he got to try some and said it was very good. So I, of course, had seen this before, but I've personally have been to Rome a couple times now, and I really like that store out there and a couple of other stores over there, so I seem to trust their palate and how they do their store picks. And my dad, like I said, he got to try some before and recommended this, so I am very excited to try this as well. So I haven't had a sip of it. As you can see, it is still very fresh. The only thing left or out of it is in this Glen, so this is gonna be a fresh tasting for me, and yeah, I'm excited. If you've never seen an Old Dom bottle, I think they're very cool looking. They've got like a nice slender look, got some like ridges along the bottom, and then Old Dominick name along the top here. They've even got like the insignia on the top with the rooster. It is very, very cool as well. So yeah, like I said, I've been a big fan of Old Dom. I'm very happy with how transparent they are on like the front of the labels here. I'm very happy with just how their products are, like how good they taste. They have not done me wrong in terms of being a customer for them. So I am very, very excited to continue to try all their products that they come out with and see what I really like about them, which is most everything. So like I said, this is a wheat whiskey, and it's a sort of a new horizon for me. I have, I think, only one or maybe two other wheat whiskeys. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is I have a Bernheim wheat whiskey back there, and it's delicious. It's a barrel strength wheat whiskey, fantastic stuff. I have some wheated bourbons out here, like the Wellers, I believe, are wheaters. I have a couple other different wheated bourbons that are not wheat whiskeys, but do have a large quantity of wheat within the mash bill, but only have one or two, including this one, that are wheat whiskeys. So it's something new for me. If you've watched recently about my Irish whiskey, it's going to be a similar boat of just like, it's something new for me. And like I said, I've been recently wanting to get bottles that are just kind of different, that are just not the typical bourbons. And you'll see I have a couple bottles down here that you'll see coming up soon in the next reviews that I'm going to review, that I'm really excited about. So yeah, I've done enough talking at this point. Like I said, to sum up what I was going to say though, wheat whiskey's new thing for me. So if it's not as good as I think it is, or if I don't give it as good ratings as you think it should be, it may be just because I haven't had enough wheat whiskeys and may appreciate it later once I do it. But I have a lot of confidence that I will like it, just because It's similar to what bourbons. I mean, obviously I've had weeded bourbons, and those are really good. I like those, and the Bernheim was very good that I had. So I think this is going to be. I already have good expectations for this as well, considering it was also Old Dom. So I don't think they're going to steer me wrong here. So anyway, with all that talking out of the way, let's get right into this glass. So obviously we start with the color, and my goodness, the color on this is fantastic. It already being a 7-year, aged in Tennessee, so it's already a hotter climate, more humid climate. Very similar to Kentucky, arguably more humid just because it's more southern than Kentucky is. Since a lot of the northern part of Kentucky can get into the Midwest region, which typically has a slightly cooler climate just with how the cold fronts come in and all sorts of geographical reasons that it gets a little colder. But as you get more into southern Kentucky, into Tennessee, it kind of has that same like area of climate, especially in Memphis, it being like on the southwestern portion of Tennessee. It's going to be definitely a humid climate, more that heat in there to allow this to age. So I'm not surprised at the color on this, and even it only being 7 years, it's still got some fantastic color to it, which is, like I said, I always say, not indicative of anything, but I do think it bodes well. Typically, when I have had darker color ones, it usually ends up pretty good. But it also comes down to personal taste and who makes it and things like that, because I could age whiskey in a barrel for 10 years, and it probably would suck, because I don't know what I'm doing. So it may have good color just because it's sitting in a barrel, but I don't know what I'm doing in terms of mash bill, aging, things like that. So, you know, there's a whole lot of factors other than just the aging that comes with the flavors. So, but the color is just a nice thing to note, I will say. So, let's just get right into the nose. This smells divine. Like, this smells really good. It reminds me of cherry Coke. That's what I'm smelling. It smells exactly like a cherry Coke. A bunch of like that cola, and then it's not like a fresh cherry, it's more of like that artificial, like syrupy cherry, like a maraschino's, I guess is what I'm trying to say. A maraschino, like, you know, the syrup in a maraschino cherry like jar. That's exactly what I'm getting with this. Like cherry Coke. Even somehow smells like carbonated. I know it's not, but it's weird, but cherry Coke flavor for sure. I mean, that dominates in there, and I mean, maybe get a little bit of like a caramelness, but I think that just goes along with the Coke, honestly. Kind of like that caramelly sweetness. Yeah, like straight up cherry Coke all day on this. A little bit of caramel in there. Maybe like a little citrus, like a little lemony, maybe, but like it's just really dominant in terms of a cherry Coke. I'm enjoying it. Like, it's very, very good. Yeah, this is great. I'm very excited to see what this is going to entail on the palate, so let's just get right into that. Okay. Ooh, okay. So, I get a little half of that. I don't get as much cherry, but I still get a cola-y type note to it. I also am noting that it definitely has you can definitely tell it's a wheat whiskey. Like, when I've tried wheated bourbons, or especially that Bernheim too, it's got a funk to it. Not a bad funk. It's not bad. It's just got a nice funkiness to it that a wheat has that, you know, corn or barley or rye doesn't have. It's unique to wheat. And I really like it, like that kind of funkiness to it. Like I said, a little cola, and then kind of like hay, like it's like sweet hay, which I've gotten that note before on some cigars that I've tried, like a sweet hay note, and that's kind of what I get here. It's like a cola sweet hay type thing. A little bit of like a little bit of like a little sweetness in there, like a little darker sweetness, maybe a little like carameliness again, a little caramel, cola, sweet hay. Definitely going towards the finish, it becomes a little bit earthy, and it's still got the sweetness from like the what am I trying to say, the caramel kind of pulling through, but it turns a little earthy, and it's great. Like, I think it carries through really nicely. I mean, it's got dark, deep flavors to it. I really am enjoying this a lot. Yeah, this is really good. The only knock I will give it is that mid palate towards the end, it becomes a little dry. Like, my mouth kind of tastes like I've eaten hay a little bit. So I've got like a little bit of a drying kind of effect going on along the palate. But it's not a lot. It's just a little bit slight. That earthiness turns slightly tannic, just slightly, along with that dryingness, comes in there a little bit. Again, not a bad thing. It's just there, so it knocks it down a little bit for me. But overall, like, this is very good. Other than that, like, it's deep, dark flavors. Like I said, a cola, sweet hay, a little caramel in there. Then going towards the finish, it becomes like a little earthiness. Still carries through some of that sweetness from before. Becomes a little earthy. A slight bit of tannic in there. Like, it's a little bit, like a little dryness, to it. But I think overall, this is a great pour, and I don't know if this says the barrel number on it. I don't think so. Yeah, it just says the barrel entry proof is 110, and the DSPN -TN, so it's 21036. But those are nothing crazy about it. So yeah. But anyway, for me, I already am an Old Dom fan, so I already kind of knew I was gonna like this one, and even with my expectations, I really do like it. I mean, this nose is just very good, and I will say, a lot of the nose doesn't necessarily transfer to the palate, because I get a little bit of that cola going through on both, but the cherry note on the nose, I don't get a ton of that. I don't get hardly any cherry on the palate. Like, maybe a smidgen on the front, but honestly, not enough to really notice it unless you're looking for it. And even then, like, it's still faint if I'm not just making it up in my head. So yeah, I mean, I think this is an 8 out of 10. Like, fantastic bottle. I think I gave the Old Dom Cash Tank Bourbon an 8 or a 9. I think, off the top of my head, I would want to say I like the Cash Tank Bourbon more, but I don't know that for certain. That's just kind of off the top of my head from when I tried it last. And it may be just because I haven't had enough wheat mash bills to really appreciate it as much. So that may come with time as I have them more, have more wheaters, things like that. So I'm not really sure. But I do know that I really do like this bottle a lot. And again, I think it's $60, and especially if you can get this bottle at that price, and if you can find a store pick of this with a store that you trust with their palate, I think this could be a phenomenal bottle. Depends on who you get it from and how much you get it for. One of the best bangs for your buck you can get. But yeah, so if you've never tried this and you have seen it before, I recommend you try it. Or any of the Old Dom products. Again, they are not paying me for any of this, so. But again, I just like the Old Dominick products a lot. So if you do have the chance or have never tried them, please try the Old Dominick product. I think most people will love it. Yeah, like I said, 8 out of 10 for me. I think this is a great bottle. So I think that's going to be it for this review today. Hope you guys have enjoyed. So if you've been able to try this bottle, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, you can check out a summarized version of this review in the description down below. You will see a couple videos here on screen. Be sure to check those out. It's a couple reviews I've done here in the past. And some you may like as well on my channel as well. So I think that's going to be it for me today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. And I'll see you next time here on Burn and Barrel.